Hello and welcome back to another episode of Island Living. On this particular case, we're going to be looking at some of the new things in the SlimeFun. One of them will be the Woodcutter Android. I'm going to cut through not making it because I figure that by now you have an idea that everything's going to take time. But let's take a look at our book, okay? I'll show you where it is. You will find that under energy and electricity, I believe. Double check. Let's go to the next page, and here they are. Okay, these are all the different kind of androids that you can do for farming, for the woodcutter, which is the one we're going to look at. Fishermen fishes stuff for you, and they're really good. We have a visitor. Okay. If we go outside, I have a little platform where we're going to be planting. I'm going to call it planting, or should I say placing our Android. I have two Androids because I would like to test a couple of things. I want to see if the tree cuts any kind of tree or is it just specific one kind. Okay, and this is our Android, programmable Android woodcutter. And I'm going to place it here, and the reason why I have this here is because there's going to be one where the items are going to go into, and so I put a hopper going inside the chest so that when the items are deposited from the Android into an item, it's going to hold the items for us, then they will go straight into the chest and not clutter. You can put several chests. A lot of people have several chests going because, okay, and we also have two interface. Let me show you. We have one that is called item interface. This one stores in an Android inventory will be inserted into this interface when its script tells them to do so. So that one is the interface. That's where the items go, and then they're deposited inside the hopper and into the chest. The other one is fuel. Our Androids all run on fuel, so you gotta have to make sure you have fuel. There are two kinds. If you do the electronic one or the more powerful Android, then you're probably gonna be needing something like fuel, like oil or some kind of liquid fuel. And those are harder to come by, let me tell you. So most people just like to get the regular fuel one because then we can use just regular coal, okay? So this one here is the fuel. So let's put them down. I brought two because then it will be faster. Now this one is our interface. This is where the items are gonna go. And as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm facing I'm facing what I'm placing, and that's gonna be my front. On the other side is gonna go our fuel, okay? So let's move over and let's place the fuel there. This is all we have to do in reality once you make your Androids and you put them. But it's not quite so simple. Now we need to program them because we want to be sure that when they're working that they come one side and take the fuel, and on the other side they place the items, okay? If you mess them up, then it's not gonna work as well. I also have, before I do that, all our different kinds of trees that we have so that I can test them and see if they are all cut by the woodcutter, okay? And we'll see, we'll test them. I'm gonna tell you the most popular trees to plant because people usually want to get, you know how wood can be turned into not coal, but charcoal. And then you can turn the charcoal into coal. But they use all of this a lot in order to fuel everything. In that case, what we do need is a lot of wood, so a lot of people go with the spruce sapling because they have less leaves. The jungle sapling is good at everything, but they have a lot of leaves, and they have different areas that grow into, you know, branches, I would say. And that one is less popular for this kind of job. However, if what you really want to do is you want to make a farm so that you can go ahead and harvest these trees without having to work on them, and then by doing so you have these different kinds of wood then this is a good farm to do as well. But we'll test them all. We're going to start with the most popular one, which is the spruce. Okay. And while that one works, we'll set up the other Android. And the way you place the trees is you place them in the back. If you want to, you can play. For these ones, I say you can go ahead and place 6. What the Android is going to do is going to detect, it's sort of like a detector. It's going to detect the tree that is there, and when it analyzes it, you're going to see it actually stops and looks at the tree for a second, then it analyzes it, and then when it grows, it starts chopping it up, and it replants it for you. Okay, but before we can do that, we need to do several things. One, we need to put fuel on the fuel here. I'll just put 60. You can fill it up, because if you're going to be like, if you AFK or if you're working around the area and you want that to keep working without stopping. We don't do anything to this side because this is where everything's going to be stored. And sometimes it gets stored so fast and so many that's why we have the additional storage area. You can have as many as you want. And right here is our Android. When you right click on it, it will open up the programmable Android area. In this area is where you're going to see things that are going to be stored, picked up by the Android, and then sent to the item when it's called for. This is a memory core, and when you build your own, you're going to see you're going to have a memory core there, and that's the same one that you just built, but you don't have to worry about it. You have a start and stop button here, start, continue, and a pause. But this one here is the memory core, is where you actually click to get your program set for the Android. There are several ways you can do. You can create your new script right there, see? You can edit a script that you brought, or you can download a script from somebody. Let's say we open this one up, because a lot of people are a little scared to create their own script. So let's open this up. As you can see, some of our members in our area have created some script, and they have placed it and saved it here. Okay. I don't think I've created any that I can place here. But when you create it, then you can upload a script of your own. And then that way you have it here for all the other Androids that you make that are tree cutters. So let's go ahead and let's create one real fast. Okay, we're going to create our own. So let's go to our memory. We're going to go to create your new script. I like to create the tree grew before I even finished. But that's okay. That's okay. If anything, we'll just go ahead and chop it down or whatever. But let's create our own. Let me tell you what this looks like. Right here is the starter of the script, and it tells you to turn left. You can either turn left or you can change that. If you right click, you'll delete it, and then this button here adds new commands. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete it because I don't really need that. That's not the script that I want to do. I like my own, and the very first thing that I want to do is I would like to add, these are all the script editor items that I can use. I would like it to just, the minute you see something, to begin to chop it. So I'm going to add that. See, there it is. I'm going to add another command. And this one is for it that once it begins to chop, to take a look on the left, because remember, that's where the fuel is. So left, that will be our left as we're looking at it, not left if you were sitting inside it. So now we made it turn left, and the next thing we want to do is we want to add another command. After it turned left, we wanted to pull fuel, because remember, right there is where we put our fuel. That's where we put all our charcoal. So we wanted to pull fuel from there if it needs it at any given time. And then we wanted to go ahead and turn right again. Turn right. And we're going to add another command, because now it turned right and now it's in front of us again. Now I want it to turn right again, Okay. Now it's turn right, right. And guess what? We wanted to go ahead and deposit anything, to push anything that is in his inventory. In other words, if he has collected any kind of wood while doing this, he's going to put it right inside this area and stored it for us. So far we have it. Chop the plant, turn left and pick up some fuel, turn right to center, turn right again towards the push item container and push the items. Now let's have it do face us again. So we're gonna have it turn left again where it's facing us now, right? At this point we want to add another command. We are going to have it wait 5 seconds. So we're gonna have it wait 5 seconds like 7 times, like 35 seconds while it goes around and picks up stuff. At that time it's just gonna keep going and going and going and going and going until we tell it to stop. So we add one, let's add another 5 seconds. And I like to add like 7 seconds. Here we add another one, add. You can just copy this because you have that option, but let me just show you how we just bring it in. It's just easy. Okay, and let's add another. And I would like to add just one more, okay? Just that would be enough. Okay, at this point it has done all of this. Here's my add button, and guess what this is? Repeat the script. So at this point, when it gets here, it will start all over again doing all of this. So we're done with that script, and that's it. So let's get it to start the script. So what I like to do is now it's in there, so I get out. Okay, here we go. Now that it's there, it needs fuel. Guess where the fuel goes? Here? No. It goes right underneath here because it's going to fuel. This is where the input of the fuel is. When we hit our start, you'll see it begin to turn. Right in here is our memory that we just finished putting in our script. We can look at it. This is the script that we put in. We can edit it, but we're not going to because we're happy with it, right? So now let's get it started. We're in here, we got the fuel, and we hit start. You'll see it moving. It will start turning. Hear it? Oh, look at that. It's already began to chop the tree because it already saw it right there. It's the very first thing that we asked on the script was for it to begin to chop the tree. Let's see how it looks outside. This is the tree that grew. Right there, you see it, it's chopping it. This is the Android doing this. All the stuff that it is chopping is going into that one area. First, it collects it in here, believe it or not, right there, see? Then after, remember, our script tells it to turn around and look after a little while. So it's gonna do this first, it's gonna collect all the wood, and then eventually it's gonna turn around into this area and it's going to deposit the items there. Then we'll see it happen there. And it's really, really fast, believe it or not. You can't see how fast it is because the leaves are breaking it, but as you can see, it's already did the right side. Let's go back up there. in the branches that are there. And you would think all the wood falls, but it doesn't. It keeps it. It's in its inventory. So where is all of that going to? Right here. And look, it actually actually it did several. Because remember, it plants, the minute it takes it off, it plants a new leaf. A new sap. So let's see, okay, we tried that one and that one. Let's try some of the smaller ones, and then we'll try this huge one. And this one can become really leafy, it's just got a lot of branches. It can become really tedious. So let's just double check on that one real quick and see. Now that we have this app, let's get rid of this. It will detect, it's like a detector. It will detect, let's get rid of these ones too, because we don't want them to start growing. Okay, it will detect what's there, and that's what it will plant. So let's do this one. I'm just gonna do one, okay, because these ones don't really grow as big. And we'll do a birch in the back because it's a single one. And the thing is that they keep growing. We could put several of them, but it would only detect the one in front of it. So make sure that the one in front is the one that grows. We could do 4 if you want to. And we could do 4 here. Let's see. We can mix them, because even if you mix them, it would only detect the one in front. So let's just do that. And we can hurry this up by putting a little bit of ching bone meal. Let's see. Whoops. Let's see. There it is. Okay, it's gonna detect it. It's gonna take a second until it sees it, and then it's going to begin to chop it. There it went now, finally. Takes a little bit for it to acknowledge what it is, and now it's gonna go and it's gonna pick up every leaf, except it didn't pick up that one for some reason. But if we had 2 trees going, then it would have picked up that signal as well. But it didn't, because there was only 1 tree. Okay, now let's see this one. Let's put a little bit. We know that one goes. I helped it with the bone meal, but if you just leave it alone, it will grow by itself. So no big deal. Oops. There, something grew, almost grew in front of me. Okay, now it's going to go around on the cycle. It's going to detect it, and then it begins chopping it. There it comes. This one is easy because it's a little one. When it comes to the bottom, it plants a new one. When that one grows, it will continue the cycle. It takes time, so you may want to have several of these guys going and plant several, because at any given time, the minute the front one grows, then they will all go. And we want to see one of the big ones, so let's get rid of this one since we know these ones work, right? Let's just do quickly. So I want you to see the other ones. When I planted these ones a while back, it was huge, because these trees are huge. Those jungle saplings grow into huge trees. And you know what? I want to get rid of that. Right. And this one, we already saw this one working, so I want to put these ones. Remember, these ones could also grow pretty big and massive, a lot of leaves. And there it went. See how big it is? It's gonna take a second for the Android to go around in its cycle and stops. It's gonna detect it, it's gonna find out what it is, and then it's gonna start chopping it down. You'll hear it in a second. There it goes. As you can see, there it goes. It's chopping it. It's going all the way up to the top. And then it'll come down and do the other side. Look how big it is. It's coming down. It's collecting a lot of stuff. So far, we've done the oak. And the acacia was a little bit, because they don't have a lot of leaves. And now this one is going to give us a lot. And of course, as you can see, it planted a new sapling. The minute it comes down, it will replant the sapling. And there it is. Okay, cool. So let's do this one here and let's see this one working. There's one, but it actually doesn't just do one. It has to be right in front like this for it to detect it. So the first one has to grow in order for it to detect it. Let's see. There it went already. There it goes. Sometimes all 4 of them will grow and make a mess, but that's okay. Now we wait until either the leaves decay enough and it grows again or whatever. Oh, it just deposited everything. Now it's going to turn back to the front and start again. There it goes. This is how big that tree is. That jungle wood tree was huge. So let's do this. Let's do this here and let's say that we have tested all of them. All the trees work with this Android. You can set up several of them in a line. It doesn't really matter. They'll all grow right next to each other. It's no big deal. They replant itself, so you don't have to worry about saplings, and then you'll have all kinds of different wood all the time. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you're interested. Also, leave me a comment if you'd like to see anything specific done, and thank you for joining me.